Going into yesterday's game, Alec Bohm continued to be top of the league in a number of categories, as we've talked about. He was slashing, and I don't have the updated as of today, which I probably lazily should have grabbed, but 366, 438, 598, and sitting in across the league, lowest strikeout rate, highest walk rate, lowest swinging strike rate. He's improved in so many areas, including cutting his chase rate down significantly by about 10% from the last season to this season. And he has been really doing a good job, and as he's talked about, of just being more selective within the strike zone, not feeling like he has to swing at pitches. And not letting pitchers bait him into swinging, but picking and choosing, being selective. He's always been a great hitter. He's always been a good contact hitter, but really now it's been more mature and aware of that. And yes, the updated stats, thank you, Tyler, is now 362, 432, 586 for Alec Bohm after last night.
What's that OPS plus,
with a
Tyler?
1.018 OPS.
190.
Woo!
Wowza.
That is a man possessed right
For
now.
reference, by the way, for anybody that doesn't know OPS plus, 100 is about league average.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's what it's based on, the 100 scale.
Almost double league average right now,
that's
which is insane.
That's insane. And also the league average for chase rate is around 27%, and Alec Bohm is now around 20% in chase rate. He's also chasing, fewer than the majority of the league. So it's great to be able to see that Alec is improving in so many areas. We've seen it translate into RBIs. We've seen it translate into his ability to be great with runners in scoring position and his at-bats, and also his third base play. But when you break down the numbers of how he's improved, his swing rate, his strike rate, his chase rate, Alec Bohm is really morphing into what you thought he was going to be when you drafted him. He didn't have that stuff in the minors. He struggled to really consistently bring it. And even the last couple of seasons, we've seen the ups and downs of Alec Bohm. But it's great to see this year, it's like everything's clicking and coming together. And he's a big reason why the Phillies are 10 games over 500 right now.
Yeah, I mean, with Bryce Harper, pretty much locked in the 3-hole. I kind of always hated JT in the 4-hole. He's a fine hitter, but you kind of, and if you're not going to play Schwarber down there, you kind of needed somebody to emerge as your 4-hole hitter. And Alec Bohm doesn't have traditional 4-hole power numbers, but if he's hitting doubles at this rate with an OPS plus of 190, it doesn't matter. So he's kind of, emerged here as the team's 4-hole hitter, and they needed that. I mean, we can't kid ourselves. I don't know if either of you guys were okay with JT in the 4-hole. I was not. I think he's a perfect 5-hole hitter. Alec Bohm, hats off, because you stepped into a major role that this team needed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, JT has, to me, always just been like the definition of that reliable in terms of his at-bats, especially. But obviously, we know what he brings as a catcher. But I think his at-bats were just very steady. Every once in a while you're going to get a home run from him. He's going to be a guy that's going to give you some good contact. But he's not someone that's going to win. I feel like you're not going to win or lose games typically behind JT. Like, he's someone we don't even talk about as often unless he's doing something really good. Whereas I think Alec has solidified that, batting after Bryce allows him to literally put the team on his back. And the reason why all 10 games on this road trip were the team to score first. That's Alec Bohm. He steps up. You've got Kyle, Trey, or Bryce on base. He's delivering. He's getting you RBIs. He's allowing you to get on the scoreboard first. So, yeah, I do like the move there. I think it's a great addition.
Tyler, did you are you comfortable with JT as a 4-hole hitter, or are you good with Bohm?
At the beginning of the year, my thought was to put Real Muto as the 4-hole hitter because of the fact that I wasn't comfortable with anybody else there. It really was a matter of,
I wasn't at the start of the year either with Bohm.
It was a matter of the best of options that really didn't exist, because you knew Schwarber was your leadoff hitter. You knew Trey Turner was hitting 2. You knew Bryce Harper was hitting 3. So out of your other 6 hitters, who was your most viable cleanup spot hitter? It wasn't Stott. It wasn't Marsh. It wasn't Rojas. Those 3 are out right away. It really is not Castellanos. Even when he's hitting well, it's not Castellanos. So that left you with JT and with Alec Bohm. And to me, the immediate answer was JT Realmuto, because of the fact that the doubles are there, 25 doubles or more each of the last 3 seasons. The average is solid. He doesn't strike out a ton. The strikeout numbers have risen a little bit. Like last year, 138 was his career high, but he didn't strike out a ton. He made more sense to me at the time. Now, with how good Alec Bohm is hitting, he has absolutely cemented himself as the 4, which allows everybody to slot themselves down one spot, which is probably where they should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And that's the biggest thing.
Like, thank God Castellanos, we don't have to be like, oh my God, get him in the 4 or 5. You know what I mean?
I know.
It allowed everybody to naturally fall into where they should be.
It does. And so I know, Ray, you're mentioning for catchers, and this is the point that I feel about JT. You know, as long as they're catching well, all they have to do is give you some good at bats, and that's what we're fine with. And I agree. Chooch was that way. JT is that way. And even seeing JT making those improvements, we talked about the biomechanics that you're bringing up, John Lemmerman. We've seen the slight improvements for him, but for Alex specifically, he thrives with being able to just find the gaps to knock the ball into, and he's just giving you good contact. He's not to have 30 RBIs, and I guess it's 4 home runs that he's at right now, and be someone that is just finding pockets to hit the ball into to allow the Phillies to score. That's exactly all you need from him. You don't even need him coming up and hitting these 421-foot bombs, which would be nice too, don't get me wrong. But it is great to see just the steadiness and consistency. And that's one of the biggest things I wanted to hit on even after yesterday of like, wow, Alec Bohm really has been the sleeper in a way. We came into this season talking so much about obviously Kyle at leadoff and, Bryce, a full season of Bryce at first base and what it's going to mean to have a full season without, starting from the jump with everybody healthy, without the World Baseball Classic, all these things. But I feel like, to me, Alec Bohm has definitely surprised me and caught me off guard because he wasn't someone that we were actively even expecting to deliver. And he's done that and more.